أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to a new lesson, and today we are going to learn about Jumla Ismiya. As we know that in Arabic there are two types of sentences. One is called Jumlatul Ismiya and the other is called Jumlatul Failiya. So, what are these two sentences? As the name suggests, we can see that Jumla Ismiya it is made up of two parts, and as it begins with an isim, the subject of the sentence, and that is called al mubtada. As I told you, there are two parts of Jumla Ismiya. So the first part will be mubtada and the second part is called a khabar. So al-mubtada is generally definite, and we know that definite nouns are the marifa nouns, which are the proper nouns, name of something specific, while the khabar is indefinite. It can be a descriptive noun or any other noun or any quality or anything which is describing the mubtada, that is a first part of the jumla ismiya, and it is always indefinite. So, as you know that always an isim is in the default state, and that default state is the rafa state, the marfu state, unless we have some changes or in the sentence which is making the isim to change its status. Otherwise, the default status of an isim is always rafa. And in the Jumla Ismiya, the two parts, the Mubtada and Khabar, are in the Rafa state. So they will be Marfu. So Mubtada is always Marfa, that's definite, and Khabar is always Nakira, the indefinite noun. Okay. So now let's see the example here. At-talibu mujtahidun. The first example, at-talibu mujtahidun. The student is hardworking. Here, the first part is called the mubtada, and the second part of the jumla ismiya is called the khabar. And as I told you, the mubtada is always marifa, and what makes us known that it is a marfa noun? This al here, you can see here, this al is making this noun a marfa noun. And we have learned 7 types of reasons, or you can say the kinds of marfa nouns. So noun with which al is attached is one of the type of marfa nouns. And here you can notice here the descriptive noun which is describing our mubtada here is in the state of nakira. And what is making it a nakira noun? Can anyone guess? What is making it a nakira noun? What shows? What is the visual sign to see? What is the visual sign to make it, or we can say that it is a nakira noun? So we can see here the ending. This tanween, this double dhamma is making it a nakira noun. Mujtahidun. As we know that this tanween shows that it is a nakira noun. It is not preceded by an al or not any other sign. The other 6 signs are here in this word. Okay, so this is the mubtada and this is the khabar of a jumla ismiya. And as I told you, jumla ismiya always starts with an isim. And you know that what is an isim? Isim can be a noun, a proper noun, an idea, an adjective, or anything. An isim, so a jumla ismiya always starts with an isim. Okay, the second, look at the second example. Al-kalamani saminani. Al-kalamani saminani. The two pens are expensive. So now again, you can see here the first word here is an isim. Two pens. And this is definite. And what is making it definite? This al. Okay, so the two pens are expensive. Here, Saminani is a indefinite descriptive noun. The two pens are expensive. Always remember that if the khabar is a descriptive noun, then the khabar agrees the mubtada in gender and in the number. So, what does that mean? That if a mubtada is singular, mufrad, then a khabar will also be mufrad. If a mubtada is musanna, then a khabar will also be musanna. In the same way, if a mubtada is a jama, plural noun, then a khabar will follow it or it agrees it in number and in gender. And this is shown in these three examples. In the first example, the mubtada is the first. As I told you, in Jumla Ismiya, there are two parts, the mubtada and the khabar. So here, the first part is the mubtada in all these three words in red pen. You can see in the red color, you can see here, they are all a mubtada. The first one is again definite, a mufrad definite, a mufrad marifa noun, at-talibu. In the second, musanna noun, marfa, musanna noun, al-kalamani. And here, al-muallimuna is again a definite noun, which is jama, plural noun. So, all the khabar in these three sentences are following their mubtada in gender and in the number. In the first example, at-talibu mujtahidun, mubtada and khabar, both are mufrad. Here, the khabar is mufrad. It is following its mubtada in number and in gender. In gender means if mubtada or is you in mubtada it's muzakkar ism, then its descriptive noun will also be a muzakkar noun. Again, here, see here the musanna, here the musanna, the muzakkar form of descriptive noun is written, and here as well. So, الطالب مجتهد, the mufrad, مبتدا, the mufrad khabar. الكلمان سمينان, the mufrad, the musanna, مبتدا, and the musanna khabar. المعلمون حاضرون, here both are in plural, both are plural nouns. Okay, so there are examples. Let's see column alif, bay, and jim. Again, we can see here we have used the mufrad form, the musanna form, and the jama form of kitab. Al-kitabu, al-kitabani, al-kutubu. As I told you, jama mukassar, it doesn't have any particular rule. Just like the jama salim, we have some particular rules to follow to make a mufrad noun into a plural noun or a jama noun. So here As I told you, Jama Mukassar nouns don't follow any particular rule or a particular set of steps to make a mufrad into musanna or a jama. So here the plural form of kitab is kutubu. And as I told you, if almost all the Jama Mukassar are considered as singular feminine if they are non-human broken plurals. If they are non-human broken plurals, means all the ghair akil, not ghair akil means non-human. Those who the things that that don't have intellect, they are considered as ghair akil, non-human. So all the non-human broken plurals or the ghair akil jama mukassir are considered as singular feminine. Their gender will be singular feminine noun. So for the descriptive, what descriptive noun we are going to use with them? We are going to use a singular feminine descriptive noun with the jama mukassar ghair aqil. Let's see here. Al kutubu mufidatun. How do we know that this is a singular feminine word? This ta marbuta in the end is showing us that this descriptive noun is used for a feminine word. And this sound, this tanween is showing us that this khabar is in nakira form. Got it? Okay, so again, as I told you, Jumla Ismiya, it has two parts, Mubtada and Khabar. Mubtada and Khabar. Mubtada will always be definite, generally will always be definite, and the Khabar will always be Nakira. So here, Al-Kitabu Mufidun, Al-Kitabani Mufidani. Look here, the endings, they are matching with each other. The khabar agrees with the mubtada in number and in gender. As we know that the musanna form, as we know that this look at the status of these two words. They are in the rafa form. As I told you, they both are the mubtada and rafa are marfu. They are marfu. And how do we know that they are marfu? Because we know that the musanna form contains an ani combination in the end of an isim. And as you know that the nasab and the jar form contain the musanna of nasab and jar contain aini. Like remember the chart as I told you all. Just repeat the charts that I'm sharing with you from the start, and inshallah we are going to have a few of the review classes in the future in which we are going to revise all the charts that I shared with you. But right now, many of you have already remembered or memorized the chart of that Muslimun chart. Musliman, Musliman, Muslimin, Muslimun, Musliman, Muslimin, Muslimani, Muslimaini, Muslimaini, Muslimuna, Muslimina, Muslimina. So, what was the musanna form? Muslimani, Muslimaini, Muslimaini is the musanna form. So here you can notice this kitabani is the musanna form. Okay, so al kitabani mufidani. So they both are in the rafa state. Okay, so here again, as I told you, the Jama Mukassar will always be considered as a singular feminine. So here, a singular feminine descriptive noun is used for the Jama Mukassar al-Kutubu. Al-Kitabu Mufidun, Al-Kitabani Mufidani. Both are in Rafa state. Al-Kutubu Mufidatun. Both are in Rafa state. And as you can notice, all these three mubtadas are definite. And how we know that they are definite? This al in the starting of the word, which is attached with the word. And the nakira, look here, all the three khabar here, they are all in the nakira state. Now let's look at the column B. Here our mubtada are feminine. See here, al-mu'minatu qanitatun, al-mu'minatu qanitatun, al-mu'minatani qanitatani, al-mu'minatu qanitatun. Look here, we know that. Again, the rafa status, al-mu'minatu. This is marfu. Al-mu'minatani, ani, again marfu. Al-mu'minatu, again marfu. We know that this is the definite form because al is attached with these three words. Al-mu'minatu, al-mu'minatani, al-mu'minatu. Okay. So as you know that why here we haven't used the tanween, because tanween and al doesn't go together. They don't go together. When we are attaching al with a noun to make it a definite noun, we have to remove our tanween. The double dhamma will become a single dhamma, the double fatha will become a single fatha, and the double kasra will become a single kasra whenever we are attaching an al with a nouns. So here, see here, a double dhamma is changed into a single dhamma. Now again, as I told you, the khabar has to follow the mubtada in number and gender. Here, the gender is feminine. There's the sign, the ta marbuta. So, the khabar is the feminine form. The ta marbuta is showing that this is the feminine form of the descriptive noun. Again here, this is the musanna. As we know that the ending combination is ani, and ani means the rafa state. And as you know that the nasab and jar state is the aini. Here, these both are rafa and musanna. So they are following, they agree in gender and in number. Here, this is the Jama form, Mominatu, Kanitatun. See here, there is no al, so here, that's why this is the Nakira form, and we have a Tanween here, right? So, because the Khabar cannot be definite, so we are using the Nakira form of the descriptive noun. Again, look here, the last one. So here, this ghair akil word was used, al kitabu. Here, see jama muzakkar salim. Okay, here al akil example is given here. Al muslimu sadiqun, al muslimani sadiqani, al muslimuna sadiquna. Look here, mufrad, musanna, and jama. Mufrad, musanna, and jama. This is the mufrad form with the mufrad descriptive word. Musanna form and a musanna descriptive word. Here the jama, the plural noun. So here is the khabar, which the descriptive noun, which is used here again is the plural, and it agrees in gender and number. Okay, so now let's have a recap of all the states that we learned, the Arab that we have learned so far, the declination in Arabic grammar. So what is the declination in Arabic grammar is called? It is called Arab. So literally in grammar, as we know that certain languages, the variation of the form of a noun, pronoun, or adjective by which its grammatical case, number, or gender are identified is called declination. So I'm going to introduce you to declination with more Arabic terms right now. And because as we are proceeding with our lessons, I want you to memorize and to learn the Arabic terms. because I know that it's very easy to learn in English or Urdu or whatever your local language is, your native language is. But as we are learning Lisanul Arab, the language of the ancient Arabs, we must be familiar with the particular terms that they use in their grammar. So, obviously, we are not going to learn all of them all together, but a gradual transition from English to Arabic is very important. So I want you to remember and to get familiar with the Arabic terms of the rules and the terms that we are using. So it will be very helpful when we are going, when we will advance in our studies and in our advanced topics, inshallah ta'ala. So here the Arabic definition of Arab تغير يلحق آخر الكلمات العربية من رفع ونسب وجر وجزم. So change to the end of the words which affects its grammatical position. We can notice a change in declension in the end of the word in different cases. How we are going to understand, or we are going to recognize the words but just by looking at the ending of the words, and these words will have different cases with different endings. As the definition shows, there are four cases in the Arabic language: Rafa, Nasab, Jar, wa Jazm. We are not going to do Jazm here because Jazm, it will be used, this term will be used in fail when we are going to learn about the verbs in Arabic language. So as you know that we are learning about ism and its properties and its characteristics and what its case endings and different cases in a sentence. So here we are only going to learn about the three cases of ism right now, which makes its Arab, and the ending sounds or the ashkal, the zay zabar pesh, or the fatha, dama, or kasra in the end of a word is called rafa, nasab, and jar forms. And we are going to, as we have already covered uh, about a little about this topic, but now again we are going to do it because revision and the review of these topic will be very helpful as we will proceed, inshallah ta'ala. So as we already studied that there are four cases, the four variations of the verb, the rafa, nasab, jar, and jazm. But as I told you, we are only going to learn about the three cases of the ism right now: rafa, nasab, and jar. So let's see, at-talibu mujtahidun, as we have already done this. This talib in the sentence is mubtada, as I already told you, and mujtahidun is khabar, and we have already covered this part. Allamtu taliba, I taught the student. Okay, a taliba now here. I taught the student. Okay, now here in this sentence, the file or the doer, the one who is doing an action, uh, mm, is is actually a taliba in this, and is the no, it's not the file, or actually it's just a mistake here. Allamtu taliba, I taught the student. The talib here is the detail, the object. Okay, so this is in the mansoob form. As I told you, whatever the detail, nasab is the detail of the sentence. Nasab is the detail of the sentence. Here, there is some mistake. I'll correct it when I'll share the document in the Telegram channel, inshallah ta'ala. Okay, now here, so here this is the nasab state. As you know that the detail of the sentence is always in the nasab state. And what is showing us that this is in the nasab state? This fatha in the end. Okay, nazartu ila talibi, I looked at the student. Now here again, this is the detail, but look here, there is a kasra here, and as I told you, there are many types of. We learned about the three types of kalima: isim, fi'l, and harf, and there are many types of harf in the Arabic language. Harf of jar and harf of nasab, and we are going to learn them. But here, just for now, just remember that this ila is a harf of jar, and when a harf of jar is attached with a noun, or it is preceded a word, when it is preceded by a harf of jar, it takes a kasra, just like that. So in the first example, we see that a talibu has a dhamma. Here a talib has a fatha, and here a talib has a kasra. So in the first sentence, it is rafa with the dhamma. Here it is nasab with the fatha, and here it is jar with the kasra. So we have observed these three sentences. The word talib, the end of the word talib, the letter ba is having a dhamma and a fatha and a kasra in all these three cases. So through these sentences, we can conclude that the all sign on the final letter of the word changes according to the grammatical function of the word in the sentence. The grammatical function of the word in the sentence. How? Here it is the doer. At-talibu mujtahidun. The student is diligent. The student is the one who is doing the action. Here it is the detail, nasab. The object is always the detail. It is in the state of nasab, and we already know that the nasab is shown by a fatha on the last letter of the mufrad word, right? So and here in the same way, here with the harf of jar, it is changing its last i'rab. Ba is with the kasra. Okay, so this changing of the vowel on the final letter of a word in a statement is called declination, the i'rab in Arabic. So there are three cases or three forms of a noun according to the declination of a noun: the rafa, the nasab, and the jar. The rafa, nasab, jar. Rafa, nasab, and jar. So the rafa is indicated by a dhamma on the final letter of the word, and the word is termed as marfu. Marfu. Same way, a nasab is indicated by a fatha on the final letter of the word, and the word is termed as mansoob. Mansoob. You can repeat after me. Mansoob. In the same way, jar. Jar is indicated by a kasra on the final letter of the word, and the word is termed as majroor. So the word talib in the first talibu mujtahidun, it is marfu. Then in the second, it is allamtu taliba. Here it is mansoob, the detail of the sentence. And here it is majroor because it is preceded by a harf of jar. Okay. So we learn about the three cases, cases of the noun, the rafa, the nasab, and the jar. In English, we call it nominative, accusative, and genitive. الطالب مجتهد علمت الطالب نظرت إلى الطالب. Look here, the ending. Ba has a dhamma, ba has a fatha, and ba has a kasra here. with the Dhamma. When a word, a noun, is ending with the Dhamma, it is in the state of Rafa and it is termed as Marfu. A noun which is ending with the Fatha on the last letter, it is in the state of Nasab and it is termed as Mansoob. A noun which is preceded by a harf of jar, or there are many reasons that it can have a kasra, we will inshallah ta'ala learn in next lessons. It will be called, it will be in the state of jar and will be called as majroor. It is not necessary that if a word is preceded by a harf of jar, it can only have a kasra. Then no, there are many reasons that it can have a kasra, and we are inshallah going to learn it. The case of the word changes with relation to its grammatical function in a sentence. This changing of the case is termed as declination, as I told you. And the third point is declination in Arabic is called the i'rab. The fourth point is there are four cases in Arabic grammar. They are rafa, nasab, jar, and jazm, and we are not talking about jism right now because we are going to learn it when we are going to start our fi'l, the verbs in Arabic language. And number 6 is a noun may appear in any of the three cases. They are rafa, nasab, and jar. Marfu, mansoob, majroor. Marfu, mansoob, and majroor. Now, let's look at the Arabic terms for these cases. Again, al-ilmu nafi'un. Again, tell me what type of jumla it is. Notice the first word. It is starting with a noun, an isim. So it is jumla ismiya. Jumla ismiya. Knowledge is beneficial. Jumla ismiya. Jumla ismiya has two parts, mubtada and khabar. Mubtada and khabar. The first part is mubtada, the second part is khabar. Mubtada is always definite, khabar is always nakira. Here, al is showing us that mubtada is definite, and here the tanween is showing us that it is a nakira noun, a descriptive noun. Al ilmu nafiun. So what is ilmu? Now, let's here see some Arabic term for this definite mubtada. Al-ilmu mubtada marfu bid-damma. Mubtada marfu bid-damma. It is mubtada. You know that the first part is mubtada. Why marfu? Because I told you it is the dhamma is showing us the marfu. It is in the rafa state, and as I told you, the mubtada is always in the default state, the rafa state. Bid dhamma, b means with dhamma, with dhamma. A mubtada is marfu with dhamma. Mubtada is marfu with dhamma. Mubtada marfu bid dhamma. Mubtadan marfuun bid dhammati. Here again, I can show you one more example of the harf of jar preceding a word. Look here, ba is again one of the harf of jar, and when it is preceded by this word, this word is preceded by ba, it is having a kasra here. Okay, so here mubtada marfoon bid-damma, al-ilmu, it is mubtada. Okay, nafiun is, I told you it's nakira, and what will be the i'rab? How do we write it in Arabic? Khabarun marfoon bid-dammati. Khabarun, this is khabar, marfu because it is in the state of rafa. We know that the mubtada and the khabar are in the state of rafa. So, whatever a noun, when it is in the state of rafa, it is called marfu. And because it has a dhamma here, see the tanween, dhammatain, we'll say bid dhamma, bid dhamma. Khabar marfoon bid dhamma. Al-alimani Taqiyani. The two scholars are pious. As I told you, the khabar is going to should agree with the mubtada in number and the gender. Both are musanna. The ani is showing us that both are musanna and in the rafa state, because the musanna, the nasab and jar form of the musanna nouns is with the ending sound aini aini. Muslimani, muslimaini, muslimaini. Remember this chart? Muslimani, muslimaini, muslimaini. So here, so what are the Arabic terms for this? Mubtadaun, you know that this is mubtada. Marfoon, you know that this is marfu because it is in the state of rafa. Bil alif, with alif, with alif. Here with alif, with alif. Mubtadaun marfoon bil alif. I know that's quite confusing. If you keep practicing, you are going to be familiar with these terms. But it's good to learn these terms because uh, we want to, as I told you, we want to learn Lisanul Arab, the language of the Arabs, and we must be familiar with these small little terms. And I am sure, inshallah ta'ala, if you will practice, if you will keep on practicing, you will be much more familiar with these terms. And I'm going to introduce you more of this kind of terms. So one day, inshallah ta'ala, we will be doing uh, advanced Arabic grammar and advanced Arab of all the Quranic ayat, inshallah ta'ala. So look at this, the khabar. A khabar is khabrun marfoon because it's in the state of rafa. Why? Ani sound. The combination here is showing us that it is in the state of rafa, and bil alif with alif. Bil alif with alif. Here, the next al mu'minuna muflihuna. The believers are successful. Now again, let's see how we are going to write this sentence, this word. Al-Mu'minuna, you know that it's a mubtada. You know that it is Jumla Ismiya. The first word is Isim. So the first word is a mubtada and the second word is a khabar. So again, write mubtadaun, and you know that it should be marfu. In the state of rafa, write down marfu, mubtadaun marfuun. And here is una sound here, so we are going to add here bil wow. Bil wow, with wow. Okay, mubtadaun marfoon bil wow. Okay, we are going to practice more words inshallah ta'ala in next classes, so you will get much more familiar with this type of construction. Muflihuna. So again, see here, this is the khabar. You know that it's a khabar. Write down khabrun. You know that both are in the state of rafa. Write down marfu. We know that when a noun is in the state of rafa, we call it marfu. When a noun is in the state of nasab, we call it mansub. And when a noun is in the state of jar, we call it majroor. So write down here khabrun marfuun. And we know that again, una here, the ending combination, and we are going to add here wow. Khabrun marfuun bil wow. Okay. So, inshallah, this is the sim we learned and how to write down its Arab. Okay, we are just in the start of doing Arab. So, we have so far learned how to write an sim when it is in state of marfu, a mufrad noun, a musanna noun, and a jama noun. العلم مبتدا مرفوع بالضمة نافع خبر مرفوع بالضمة. Here العلم نافع. I told you This is mubtada, this is khabar. Write down here the first part, mubtada. Then tell me about its status. Write down the status here, marfoon. And what do you see here? A dhamma. Write down bid dhamma, with dhamma. Again, in the same way, follow the rule. What is this? What is the position of this word in the sentence in the Jumla Ismiya? It is a khabar. Write down khabar. Then look at the status here. It is marfu. Write down marfu here. And what does it have? A dhamma. So write down bid dhamma. Khabar marfoon bid dhamma. In the same way, just look at the word. What is the word doing in this sentence? It is a mubtada. As we know that this is Jumla Ismiya, and Jumla Ismiya starts with an isim, and the first, and this isim, because it is the first part of the Jumla Ismiya, it is called a mubtada, right? So in the same way, we are going to follow all these words and write, at least we can write down these three starting era for a word: the position, and what is the status, and why it is called marfu, because it has a waw. We'll write bil waw. Why it is called marfu? It has an alif here, so we'll write bil alif. Why it is called marfu here? Because it has a dhamma. We'll write here dhamma, bid dhamma. Marfu bid dhamma, marfu bil alif, and marfu bil waw. So that's it. We learned the i'rab of mubtada and khabar. This was Jumla Ismiya, and inshallah, we are going to when we are going to have a review of all the terms and topics that we covered so far. So we are going to do more examples of mubtada and khabar. Just for an intro, the second, I told you there are two types of jumlas in Arabic language. One is jumla ismiya, the other one is jumla fa'liya. Jumla fa'liya, as the name suggests, because it is called a jumla fa'liya because it is starting with a fa'l. Okay, so we are going to learn this in our next lesson, inshallah ta'ala, because I don't want to confuse you. Actually. So we'll end the class here, inshallah ta'ala. Barakumullahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. See you in the next lesson, inshallah ta'ala. And please go through the notes in the Telegram channel.